top 5 plays from Titan Esports, Week 2. In at number 5, we have a play from Malevolent Gremlins versus Flannel Esports Synergy. I swear to God, if this play proves anything, it's that if you just draft champions that can spin in a circle, you successfully complete the cycles of violence that makes up League of Legends solo queue. Take a look at how this wins them the dragon fight.
I have flash bleed.
Tarko, wait it out.
Tarko,
I'm
gonna die for it. It's fine.
I got you now.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Oh, beautiful.
Let's fucking go,
So,
Coming in at number 4, we have a play from Titan Vanquisher League, where OVS Oberon took on Elysium Ravens. Now, it's no secret that I am a big fan of Elysium. However, in this play, I think it's safe to say that Swifty slayed the Phoenix. Let's take a look.
Middle of the fray. Oak misses the ult. Trundle claims the Drake, but here comes the Udyr. Standing in the middle of them. Jinx is gonna get her first stack of get excited. Udyr kind of just doing his job. Jinx gets 2 more kills.
Oh my
and
god,
everyone from Elysium's just dying.
This Udyr is absolutely unkillable.
Yeah, this Udyr is just standing in front of everyone and just tanking up so much damage while the Jinx slowly becomes a mine. That's gonna be an ace for Oversoul.
Coming in at number 3. You know, I've heard a lot of hate in the comments, in the Twitch chats, about how Victor's ultimate should not be Arcane Storm and it should be called Chaos Storm. Well, in Team Solo Invade versus Syndicate Ja, I think it's safe to say that it definitely became a Chaos Storm. Let's take a look.
I'm gonna look to send an ulti here, I think.
I'm muted.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm tanking.
Oh my god.
Oops.
I can't see anything. There's
Might have
Victor ult on the
been
spike.
It's so big. Oh my god. That's all good.
Coming in at number 2. It's probably the wackiest wombo combo I've ever seen. But also, I just want to be so clear. Just because you see Yasuo jungle in this clip does not mean Yasuo jungle is good, and you can't change my mind. Let's take a look.
I'm chilling. I'm completely chilling.
can we look here?
I have shield in 1.
Nice. Holy mega
Oh
combo.
my god! Oh my god!
Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you sent me in some plays, a little bit less than last week, so let's keep the clip train going. But of course, I got a couple honorable mentions that I want to shout out.
I got pinks on it. They're melting.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Can you get to me, Brand?
Yep. Got it.
Back out.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 1, we have the reason I really think they shouldn't have killed off Xin Zhao. This is 2 weeks in a row that I have been sent to play from a Zahan, or Zahin, whatever his stupid name is, popping off in a team fight or a 1v4 situation. This champion, I swear to God, if you can pilot well, it is ridiculous. This is Syndicate Ja taking on Conduit Esports Phoenix. Let's take a look.
I'm just gonna play for. Okay, just chill.
Okay, that's double flash.
Can we turn this?
We're running.
I didn't have to turn this.
Thresh, no flash, there's one. Good job.
I can hit revive. I can hit revive. Oh, never mind. My zombie no OP. So.
Man, Zahen. Really just something built different. 200 years of game design, ladies and gentlemen. But that said, those are your top 5 plays from Titan Esports Week 2. If you want to be on one of these montages / top 5 lists, make sure you DM your clips to TI Romeo on Discord or put them in the stream highlights / clips chat in the Titan Discord. It is much easier if they're in my DMs because I'm just going to scroll through and find them. Make sure you link that match name, what league you're a part of, and anything you want the clip to be titled or anything cool about the clip. That is awesome. I take POV clips now. I take spectate clips as long as the time controls are off. Ignore what Yeecaw did. Don't do what Yeecaw did and leave the time controls up. With that said, I love making these bangers for you guys. I hope you're enjoying them. And keep sending those clips so these can keep popping out. This was a very Titan Conqueror League heavy video. So let's try to get some clips from other leagues. And also, if you play on a Sunday league, I am willing to count your clip moving into the next week. Like, if you played this Sunday and you want to send your clip in for week 3, go ahead. I get like a less than... I edit these videos on Sunday, so it's usually hard for me to get one of those clips out. But that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hater plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a day with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 million on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Apologies for the lying. It's not Immortal League, it's Olympus. Everybody, welcome back to week 3 of Olympus. I'm Halfling, joined by Fel. We've got a fun and interesting match, to say the least, tonight. We got Mingos versus Mighty Morphin Syndicate. The battle for the mid-table is always more fun than the top. How's it going, Fel?
Oh, it's going awesome. Yeah, it wouldn't be a fell cast if the transition screen wasn't correct anyway. So I don't think it's been right since I've been a Titan. But yeah, I'm excited. And as you said, this is kind of two teams that have underperformed from where they expected and the league kind of expected them to be. So I was like kind of catching people like when they're at the bottom on the way up, and hopefully we get some good performances out of these, because being 1 and 2 compared to 0 and 3 is a huge difference when it comes to the psyche of how you feel as a player, as a team, and the cohesion. So, and then also if you are 2 and 1, it feels a lot better than 1 and 2. So both of these teams, have a lot to still play for, and playoffs aren't completely out of the realm for either of them, and both of them, the egos, the pride, the everything on the line. So I'm hoping that they show up today.
Yeah, I'm hoping they show up today. It just sets you off on a good trajectory for the rest of the season too. Syndicate, lots of expectations on this team. The power rankings everywhere showing this as one of our top table contenders. Syndicate always an organization at the top. Strong players as well, especially looking at that bot lane. So the expectations are going to be high. A little bit underperforming. They're completely even as well, 3-3 in the game score. And Mingos, though, on the other hand, really just looking not even to turn it around, just get some win. They're 0-4 entirely as of this moment. They've really not been able to get anything quite off the ground yet. So there's only one way to go up for them, and the squad looks solid. I did unfortunately have to see my screen graced with a Shaco player in the support role. which is Zulfer over on the Mingo squad. So I'm gonna hope and pray I don't have to see that, because I can't promise very many good things to say when I see a Shaco support do nothing.
Listen, if it pops off, then you'll be hearing me. I'll make up for all of your lack of energy because this is one of my favorite champions. Yeah, and like you were saying, you know, like especially for Mighty Morphin, like they were expected to be great. They're mechanically and separately all good. Like individually, these are really, really good players. And unfortunately, they just can't put it together. Whatever that is, I haven't seen their games, but so normally it's probably just going to be like macro decisions, mid to late game transitions, closing out games, or just overstepping or getting like leads and then just throwing them. You know, it's like, oh, I'm 4-0. I'm, you know, killing this on top. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm getting gang banged. And now that turned into a Baron and it just completely flips the script. And for Mingos, yeah, they just need, like you were saying, they just want something to build on, which, you know, even a win here and a loss of the series, anything positive that you can take from it. The biggest thing that you don't want to happen is for the entire team cohesion and mood to just get into the dumps. And, you know, that's just what they're trying to avoid here. And the best thing for them would be just to come out, play their team style that they like to do. They play the meta. They play, you know, what's what. You know, they're all diamonds, so it's not like they're mechanically bad. So they should be able to pull this off. And if MMS throws something at them that they can handle, you know, to take a win, and next thing you know, it's everything from there.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of the leagues around this level of play really showing just how important Otacon was as an objective. We saw it kind of last season, or last split for a lot of places. Once it got removed, people are kind of adjusting, and there was this period where it's okay, everyone's used to having this objective here, but now with that missing, people are kind of struggling. How do we create fights? How do we create these situations where we can really push our vision lines, push towards an objective that maybe is a little harder, like Baron or that like elusive, you know, Soul Point or Soul, 25 minutes plus. And it is just kind of hard to do that when you don't have this big game-ending, massive swing objective just on the map. But we should be hopping into the draft here very quickly. Both teams eager and ready to get on the Rift, eager and ready to show each other who the best is.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that especially for amateur leagues, it was really easy, as you were saying, to it was really easy for you to be able to force around Otacon, throw, you know, auto thrower, you know, like whatever it was. It was easy to just kind of force the fights, and yeah, I agree. Like especially now, with Dragons being a little bit lower, the pace of the game is lower. People aren't getting into these like huge leads. They're not like level 1 going into like 0-3, 0-4 out the gate with like really bad team fights. The lack of early invades and everything too that they did with the earlier spawning. It seems like that a lot of people are having hard time adjusting as we're going to get into this. The sides are wrong. It is going to be Mighty Morphin Syndicate on the blue side and Mingos on the red side, as we have the Orianna Nocturne and Bard taken out from MMS, and Mingos is going to ban the Renekton, Ezreal, and make a guess.
And make it a guess. Oh, I didn't make a guess. Sorry, I was taking a gander over because I remember seeing Ezreal pretty high up on Resilience list, and I saw the ban from the side, and I'm like, hey, that doesn't, you know, trying to make sure they have to deal or can at least kind of control the variables in this game, and it is just going to be Senna coming on through. We've been seeing this champion tear it up and also not really be like the star of the show, but I don't think that's a problem.
No, it shouldn't be. I mean, if we're looking at Resilient and D-Shot in the bot lane, I think anything that they can do is going to be really strong. Obviously, we've seen so many Sennas. I don't know if you've been playing solo queue, but that's literally, it's taken the place of Smolder since the mini nerf to Smolder for me.
I don't envy that.
But yeah, so you know, we've been seeing so much Senna, and with the new static shift changes, I love it. I'm hoping that maybe that'll make Teemo meta for these leagues, you know, just to throw another wrench into it. But taking the Ezreal away, big, but I don't think it's going to be game wrecking. I kind of probably would have just let him have it, but we are going to see the Senna, the Ahri, the Wukong for the side of MMS, and then for Mingos, it's going to be Sejuani picked up for the jungle, and Aphelios, and both mid laners picking their picking their champs early. How do you feel about these large control mages in the mid lane?
I am a big fan of Victor right now because so many fights and so many comps that kind of show up are not very spread out. You do kind of end up clumping pretty heavily and just looking to use everyone's spells to try and kill somebody rather than having a whole lot of burst dedicated to one champion. That's why you're still seeing like Ari Vi as a combo, at least down here, do perfectly fine still, and Victor can definitely punish that. Same thing with your Anivias, with your Cassiopeias, and your Ryzas still able to kind of get work done. And looking at the bans, definitely targeting over at the support pool, just trying to make each other as uncomfortable as possible. And I completely understand, taking away this Tahm Kench here, you don't want this Senna. You want to have that Tahm Kench. You want her to be already down to that kind of third string of support, with like the last second string being what? Set from the ye old fasting days where you'd go Senna set and it'd be like, yeah, this feels terrible anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think that I mean, we do see the Seraphine here, so I mean, it's going to be fine. But yeah, I do like the Tahm here. Hopefully it's a Tahm in the support role, just because I think into two squishy champions like this, he does have a lot of survivability after his all-in potential, and we're going to get a Kayle in the top. So we're going to get an Ornn versus Kayle, a carry versus tank. I'm actually excited for this matchup here because I think that MMS is coming with something that we're seeing more of like a sort of standard in my eyes here, a standard thing, whereas Mingos are known for playing meta and standard comps, and they're getting the Kayle in the top lane, the Tahm Kench in the bot lane. This is going to be a very interesting game here. I do agree with you. I like the Victor Sejuani especially in that combo for like mid to late game or objective fighting, to where you could just get the ultimates to just pair up together nicely, and then just almost like a reset champ, that cloud just gets bigger and bigger, and so much damage coming out from the side of Mingos, and with the survivability of a Kayle, like it's going to be really hard to take them down late in the game.
It's going to be hard to take them down late in the game, but look at what they've got. Look at what Mingos has to try and get to that late game. Your best laning champion is Aphelios right now. Victor, yeah, I know is perfectly fine in lane, is going to be able to poke pretty comfortably, but it's not great. It's definitely going to be a big gameplay game. We're going to have to see these two teams really throw down to see what they can deliver to us. Now, with that being the case, two teams ready to duke it out on the Rift. Let's see what's going to win. The full scaling or that mid jungle pressure coming in with a more traditional team fight should be ready to get into this game.
Yeah, I actually prefer, as much as I like Mingos because it's a little bit saucier for me, I actually really like MMS as far as like able to pull this thing off. I mean, you have the Wukong able to get in there once he gets his little dash in and starts ulting, gets the Cyclone going, with D-Shot being able to use the Seraphine ultimate on top of that, like just being able to just pile that on as well. I think there's a lot of survivability to sort of just kind of deal with this all-in that's going to come from Mingos in the beginning, and a little sportsmanship here from the side of Mingos here, as all 5 members going into the middle. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, just goofing around would be my assumption. Let's hopefully we pop out of this replay and into the actual game, because maybe this is the actual game. Not quite sure. All right. Regardless, it's looking fine so far. Teams kind of just establishing their priority in the lane. The Ornn running with the regen HP. Why can't I speak anymore? Refillable pot into that D shield buy or D helm buy. I've been hearing that more and more. But hopefully they can kind of get out of this phase, because TJ Lane are already just suffering from the Ornn.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't seen the summon area on the Ornn, but I don't see it a lot in my games, and I don't play the champion. But this is definitely something. It's Flash comes forward from him, flash for flash up in the top lane, and that's going to be a backing Kayle with no teleport. They're going to miss a lot on this wave here. The refillable potions into a Doran's Blade, and he wins the trade outright. Interesting play for coming out from Icarus here, and Yeah, that's a huge lead for your Ornn, but Kale known to lose lane, win game late, so I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue as the rest of this map is just kind of going par for the course here.
Yeah, map's going par for the course. The Senna finding good push so far, just with the help of that Seraphine. Tom Kench doesn't really have the ability to pose the will so early on. You don't have you have the same amount of HP as every other support this early on in the game, and the Tongue Lash just doesn't provide the healing that you want to impose the will that you're really required to do to match that poke from D-Shot on this Seraphine. And Senna's just a good champion as well, though. The Wukong getting a little spicy, trying to find Paradoxical on this invade, and Ron and Johnny Fortnite moving on over into the area, just making sure this blue buff is going to stay safe. But Solomon finds another good charm here. It's going to force a little bit of engage onto Zulfer. In theory, should be safe. Can't quite find that last little bonk from Taylor Swift. Now Stun going to land. More burst coming on towards them. That's a first blood to D-Shot. Looking for more. Flash forward from Zulfer, trying to claim the kill. Able to get onto Taylor Swift. Next target here in the stun. All trapped into the field. It's a 1-for-1.
That was the most fortuitous field I think I've ever seen from a Victor player. Really well done, and I like the aggressiveness from MMS early on in this game. Taylor Swift ended up getting in the end, dying on the monkey, but prior to that, like really good job. And I have to say that Solomon on this Ahri so far, I've seen 3 huge charms that have basically kind of either shut down the play or at least extended it to the end there. On the beginning side of that play, we saw just catching out the Victor just enough to where they weren't able to just kind of like take that over, because it did look like Taylor Swift was like just dead to rights for free. And good job by MMS to kind of get that. And D-Shot on the Seraphine now getting a little ahead with that first kill.
Yeah, getting themselves in a very comfortable spot with that first kill. It's very, very strong on the Seraphine, of course. You're just going to be able to pick up some extra items on this reset, be able to finish up a support item, which I know doesn't sound big, doesn't sound like a whole lot, and objectively it isn't, but just being that little bit extra ahead on a champion like Seraphine, having that extra mana regen more than anything else, having that passive coming from the item is going to be quite strong. And speaking of strong, it's Icarus towards their pillar, but not quite able to find the wall there.
Yeah, no, and this is kind of like one of those things too, where like with the changes that they've made, it kind of feels with the Deathfire Torch that Senna's actually in ADC now, right? Like for the longest time, playing her ADC was either troll because she was a support, range support, and then when Riot tried to make them, as fight's about to break out here in the middle.
Break out a little bit more. It's actually turning into a whole lot more than Taylor Swift maybe wanted. That charm's going to go wide, trying to find that extra damage onto Taylor Swift as the Sejuani running down the Wukong, but can't quite close that distance. Now with Icarus here in the area, actually TP'd mid lane, so they've got the bodies with the Call of the Forge God. No. How do you miss that? Icarus still finding the knock up there onto Zephyr. They're going to be able to get this kill in a couple seconds, but there should have been more.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he didn't end up going for the Sejuani there. I think that Paradoxal was kind of caught out completely, and if he would have used that Call of the Forge God and actually hit the Sejuani up, I feel like Taylor Swift would have been able to just close in, get that kill, and then Solomon was going to get that kill on the Victor irregardless. So I really like the play there. The teleport, well-timed. I think you could have had 2 there for free and transition that completely into a base free dragon as well. But yeah, no, good play from them. And as I was saying earlier, I feel like the changes that they've made to Senna specifically, with the new static shift changes and everything, I feel like they finally made her into a legitimate ADC, to where she doesn't just have to wait until she scales at the end and then is just like sort of, helping out or facilitating. She's legit does damage and stuff now too. So it's nice to see, that champion finally getting what I feel was much needed care and concern from the Riot devs. So interesting enough, MMS now taking a pretty decent chunk of a lead here as Icarus in the top lane still trading out with laner like really, really well here as this Kale is just not having the best of times.
I'm not seeing double. Glad to know it's not just me. But regardless, the map state in a good-ish position for the side of the Syndicate. Just picking up this dragon here. They've got the priority bot side. The Ahri's in a very comfortable spot with that lost chapter finished up as well. So No harm, no foul right now. Paradoxical, maybe gonna look for this gank topside. They don't
I
quite
like
have
this.
the ultimate, so gonna try and find Icarus, but I don't know how much an Ornn being caught out is really going to mean anything, because I don't even know if he was caught out in the first place.
No, not really. If Paradoxal would have waited like maybe half a second, it did look like Lanier was able to, get, as the knockup's not going to land there for Icarus, but yeah, seeing double here as well. It's getting a little thing here, but
Forge God turning into a whole lot more. Laner's gonna pop that ultimate pretty late. Icarus has to force the flash from Laner, but can't quite close the distance. Dawning Shadow trying to save Icarus from what though? They're so dead.
Yeah, that was a good Senna ult, but unfortunately Paradoxal was still there. I don't think that was a good idea to go in, but we're getting action on the bot side now too.
It is turning into more. It's trying to get turned on to D-Shot there. Moonlight Vigil going to burn the damage. The Gravitum keeping Resilient locked down for too long, but Ron cannot live with Taylor Swift showed up the area. Cyclone going to get burned from the Wukong as they keep up the fight on a Johnny Fortnite. I don't think they have the Abyssal Voyage either. Nowhere for you to go is the Tom Kench, but there's no damage really to kill him either. Solomon had to Spirit Rush in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, it's just fighting going on all over the places. It does look like Zephyr's going to try to finish this off, but he's going to come up just a little bit short there, as Solomon is going to be able to back there, but a lot of ultimates used, a lot of resources all across the map, with the exception of Ron's flash on this Aphelios. That's the only thing that seems like it's still up for the side of Mingos here. And as Lanier getting caught out again on this kill, I absolutely love what Icarus is doing on this Ornn. Unfortunately for him, when he did do the gank, he did end up giving Kale a lot of free farm, so she is up on CS, but it just seems like he's playing this matchup extremely well. Basically, how you would want to draw it up here is the Void Grubs are going to get taken from Paradoxical on Sejuani, and now that's at least one objective going their way, as the first dragon had gone over to Mingos earlier.
They're going to pick up just the trade on them on the sides, but Mingo's in a... Oh, yeah, that's what was messing up. I was looking up at the score bug as well. I'm like, man, I don't know if that's the Mingos logo, but it's fine. It'll slowly get fixed throughout the night. But what is slowly moving along, at least, is this game. Both teams super heavy on the scaling, everything kind of being handshaken. Really, most of that action coming here towards the top side. And you're at this point with this Kale where if you're not winning trades against this Ornn, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you playing Kale?
Ooh.
Caught out, but shouldn't turn into more. I really don't need it to turn into more. They've got the Ahri in the wings, but that Bush is Warden. They're going to spot up this Ahri as well.
Yep, and now we're going to get the gank on the top lane.
Taylor Swift is topside here, trying to find TJ Laner. No ultimate. They timed it so well. It's just a free kill delivered on towards the Wukong.
Yeah, Kale about, 3.5 seconds before the ult was up, as we're going to get a teleport in from Solomon on the Ahri. Going to try to get onto Zephyr, as does pop the ult, misses the charm.
Does try to get onto Zephyr, but sadly when everything goes wide, not much to do there. So fancy feet from Zulfur. Zulfur, okay, there we go, to keep that up. 1.5 minutes left on this dragon. Both sides, of course, want it. The sky is blue. Actually, it's not blue for me, but the sky is blue past the clouds. And the victor wants to scale, and the dragons are getting handshaken. So I don't know. It's kind of just a calm spot. Taylor Swift does have ultimate, actually. So they're going to try and lock down Zulfur as long as they can. Pop that Gravity Field, trying to get away. Dawning Shadow putting the extra damage. They flash away. Does the burn tick? Not quite enough. Now Resilient, the next target. Flash still into that ultimate for the Sejuani. Encore going to get burned. They charm up everybody. No follow-up. Able to close the distance on the Resilient. Now looking for some extra damage. But Johnny Fortnite, happy to eat that.
How many close calls are we going to get? How many close calls are we going to end up getting on this now? We just had 2 basic tower dives where almost everything was spent on the play and no actual kills, but all the resources spent there. You had 3 ultimates from the bot side spent, and then Paradoxical sneaking in there and getting off a really clean Sejuani ultimate, just not enough follow-up damage, and then Resilient and D-Shot being able to just survive long enough to get under their turret and just stifle that play was absolutely huge. And now Dragon should be coming up here again soon. We'll see who ends up getting that, but I really like the play. And Taylor Swift on this Wukong, I love that gank from them where they were just able to just like go over the side of that, from the brush. Don't go from the brush, go behind. Really well executed and almost got what he wanted / needed from it. As now they're looking to set up another repeat gank here, as no flash is going to be available for Zulfer.
No flash available for Zulfer, but no Cyclone there for the Wukong either. And that's a big cooldown they want for this Dragon. It should be up if they can keep this contest long enough. They don't quite have... No one has like good enough priority over the river with the Banana Brush controlled so far by the side of MMS as Ron happy to eat this up. That's the Mingos falling first. Solomon taking that first bite there on a Taylor Swift pretty low, but able to get away from Glacial Prison as Paradoxical. The first target to get low and stay alive from this. Root's going to land on a Zulfer. That should be dead if they can find the damage. But they got the Tom Kench here in the area. Take a big old chomp out of that Victor to get out of the fight. But the River, the Dragon, here for the blue side.
Yeah, and just a really well executed play is now we're going to get another ult for ult here on the top side, I think. Oh, I think Icarus was just trying to get Lanier to pop his ult, and he finally does. But on the backside of that play... not exactly what you want, as the flash is going to come through, and Resilient trying to ult from the Senna and pick that up as well. So good play from Lanier. Didn't have to blow the flasher Ghost either. So a lot of resources expended to try to kill TJ there. I kind of felt like Icarus was just trying to get him to use the ult, when he uses Call of the Forge God, but Lanier very patient with it, but then overstepped afterwards. So really good play into really bad play.
They understand in the first moment, I need to not use anything. I need to just get out of this lane with everything up. I've still got teleport, so I can get back to the lane quickly. And just kind of a misstep on that's going to cost them a little bit of safety. But you can see the ultimate already a third backup. They got Johnny Fortnite also skulking around here in the mid lane. Not quite sure if this can produce anything other than pressure. They've got the Aphelios in a 1v1 down here against Solomon, which that's... you can't park there as the Aphelios. That's very scary, man.
Yeah, I mean, I did kind of curse Solomon because ever since I said how good his charms were, he's missed every single one, including all the ones that are point blank. So my bad, Solomon. I still think that you're doing great. But as the fight's coming into the mid lane here,
they're going to find a dive on a D shot there, but still able to flash away. Encore going to find two, and then back into the back line as well. Paradoxical got charmed up. Johnny Fortnite popped that silver skin, and they're going to keep up the fight as Laner's going to get that kill into Solomon. Taylor Swift, next target's going to fall to the Kale, who's starting to scale into this game, starting to oppose their will onto the Rift.
Yeah, this is not what you want if you're Mingos either, right? Like, you do not want the Kale to start hitting this point. She was 0-1-0. Now she's 2-1-1, like off of the back of that fight there. So really strong play coming out from MMS here. I really like their play calling and the way that they're just kind of using their comp to the advantage, and then just getting this lead on Kale. She's already got a CS lead over the Ornn. Ornn, I feel like, has kind of let some opportunities slip away a little bit. And then now is kind of paying for it here as Resilient starting to stack up on this Senna as well.
Stack up on the Senna and picked up that ooh, don't correct me, I got this one. No, I don't have this item. I don't remember that item. I don't know how I don't remember that item name, because it's super common nowadays. It's on a ton of 80 carries. And
Static Shiv?
Not Storm Razor. Static Shiv, there we go. I keep looking at it and I'm like, that's not Static Shiv. I'm looking for this like tiny little gray thing as the Call of Forge God's going to pick up TJ Laner there. Donning Shadow just cutting them down. No time to ultimate out of that one. Solomon, though, has to pop the ultimate in kind. Zulfer happy to chase this down. Charm's going to land, but the damage happy to get eaten up by the Victor, as they're going to force Solomon out of this lane. Nothing really to get from it in the top side. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you keep chipping away, open up the map a little bit. I think that's kind of the play now. They want Icarus to get to a point where he's unkillable. He does have the Bramble and the Kinetic Recurrent. So I think that's just kind of like what the plan / play is right now, is just get him there and then send him to the bot lane and then just have Solomon, sort of roam around in between these. So I do kind of like this. I would like to see maybe a little more team fights from the Ornn, instead of waiting for a gank and then sort of like killing Lanier quickly and then going back to top. I feel like they're missing out on a lot of potential objectives and and pressure that they could be creating here, as he is going to end up going back up to the top, and this time he's going to be dealing with Sulfur. So the Victor, see if they fare a little bit better than the Kale on up against this Ornn.
Yeah, hopefully they can find this play here as Zulfer. I'm not really sure what you're doing pushing past your tier 1 that's dead and in the ground and has been for a while, but still going to try and do the best he can. Arcane Storm's going to get popped, trying to buy some time, maybe looking for a play mid, but the bodies aren't in the area. Zulfer able to flash away from that. Taylor Swift didn't burn it, but still getting that Victor flash here before an objective. Not too bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. I mean, that's kind of exactly what you want, right? You want some cooldown pushed out. Is now Paradoxal is going to be closing in on Solomon here, and a little bit of a fight inside the jungle over these Raptors. It's not looking too bad here now. Is Icarus going to try to 1v1 the Victor? Oof. Try.
1v1 is dry as hell up in the top side. This is a little more interesting down here. That charm's going to go wide, so red buff getting stolen away here from by Mingos. And Donnie Shadow's going to go wide too onto Zulfer there. No flash, didn't even need it, and still wants to stay around to clear these waves.
Yeah. He might have stepped a little bit too close. Yeah, I think Icarus is getting to the point on this Ornn where they're probably going to be able to solo anybody on the side of Ming, and I think they're probably going to. I don't know, like, what do you do in this case, right? Because, like, Ornn's not like your typical split pusher where, oh, snap.
Didn't mess up that combo.
No, he did not.
Zulfer had no business sticking around there, like, at all. Why are you sticking around in that wave? Why are you not waiting for your ultimate to try and max range it here? Just nothing at all. Lapses in judgment costing the Mingos space.
Yeah, it is, and now a huge chase. Taylor Swift with the fancy feet there, getting out of everything, and on a play where they were charging in, Ron forced to flash away on the Aphelios because was going to get caught out by the Senna. It's amazing for me to see Senna 003 with 171 CS up against an Aphelios that's 120, 160. Like, you're winning in CS and everything else on a Senna. So really well played by Resilient. I'm not surprised by this at all. Like, coming into this, I think him and D-Shot are probably the two best bot laners in the league, as far as I know. So it's not surprising, but it's impressive to see on a champion like Senna, especially into an Aphelios and a Tahm Kench.
Yeah, I really do kind of question for the Mingo side is you don't have a true tank. Tahm Kench can be. We can sit here and kind of gas ourselves up and say Tahm Kench is going to be a tank, but it's just your Sejuani here. Oh man, no comment on what I just saw there. But Zulfer once again on the wrong side of history here. Pops that Arcane Storm under the tower, just gonna fall. It's gonna go 1-for-1 here. Paradoxical down to 1 HP there. The tower going to fall just in time. They're burning this TP. Solomon wants it. Icarus also coming in. Here come the Avengers into the mid lane trying to make something out of this play, but they're so far away and so late to the party.
I think maybe they were just positioning for Baron, and they were just saying, we're going to get Baron off of this play, so I'm just going to teleport. Bot lane is probably going to get taken by these minions, but I think he needed to give one more shot to it before it goes. It looks like it's not going to fall down, and now you're going to have a... try to catch him out here.
Picking them off very well. Oh. Max range on that Encore, picking up Johnny Fortnite. TJ Laner did pop that Ghost to get out of there. And it's perfectly fine for them not to ult that Tahm Kench either. That guy was so dead.
Yeah, no, that was the best you could get out of that situation, considering the fact that Zulfer had just died on the top lane, and was still not here at the fight. I think you just take what you can out of that fight and just leave with whatever they're going to allow you to leave with, because that's how it feels right now. It feels like MMS is just doing whatever they want in this game. They're getting everything that they want, everything that they need, with the exception of the last dragon. So with the with how it's going right now, MMS in a very commanding lead. The only thing that they have to worry about is the kill at the end of this game, but it does look like they're going to try to set up something on the kill here to try to stifle this a little bit, but Wukong deciding not to take that play. But on the other side, you also still have Resilient that infinitely scales as Zulfer caught out by Solomon.
Zulfer still hasn't quite learned their
Debate.
lesson. Maybe this time it'll stick. I'm not sure if it'll actually work. How many times has that been? 3 times they've walked up into a lane. It's been like 4 actually, 4 or 5, and they've just gotten away a couple times.
Oof.
Both going flash for flash though. I like the look, and honestly, out of that play from poor Doxical, that's the best you can hope for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely, and it does look like Linker's now going to have to, with no ghost, no flash, they are going to pull this down on them. I don't even think he's going to ult. Yeah,
not at all. Not at all. Nothing you can do.
Another free assist for Resilient on the Senna, as they get to just kind of be completely global on this champion. And it seems like every time that there's a good catch, there's a Senna ult to follow up to ensure that they're getting, you know, the kill for free and nobody's dying on the back end. So I really like the shot calling from MMS on this one. They seem like they're playing a very sound team game. They're playing their team comp like really well also, and it just seems like Ming doesn't have any like strong or good answers for what's being thrown at them at this point.
Yeah, they don't quite I don't think they truthfully understand how to end a game. Like how their comp is going to actually find success. They haven't really, they've been kind of clumping around at the timers that something's supposed to happen, you know, the objectives, the heralds, your dragons, your grubs, or if like everybody for some reason has ended up mid at an off time, they'll fight here. And that's kind of what you're seeing is these teams are fighting, but no one's positioned ready for it from Mingos, and they're just going to get rammed through. Call the Forge God cutting straight through. Encore going to find 2. Cleanse burn, but there's nothing left of the side of Mingos. One more Cyclone to pick them up there. Ron's going to get ulted there from TJ Lander, who fell as well. Moonlight Vigil putting some damage to the backside, but still hasn't found a single kill as Johnny Fortnite gets out, and Zulfer once again pushing a lane to die.
Yeah, he just man, history repeats itself, huh? And great job by he's gonna give that kill away. Anyways, there was no executing yourself with the Resilient Senna ult, but the Taylor Swift also on the backside of that play, flashing out of the Aphelios ult to make sure that they didn't get hit by it while the Aphelios was had the Kale ult on them, tried to make a play on the Taylor Swift, and that could have turned it around to the point where maybe they wouldn't be able to do Baron here. So good heads up team fight from MMS. I think they executed it really well. They may not know how to, you know, get to these objectives in time or close out the games, or it may not be the fastest way, but they're taking what Ming is giving them, and what Ming is giving them is a way to just keep fighting on their own terms. What would you like to see from Ming to maybe turn this narrative around and try to get them to, I don't know, like change what MMS is able to do here?
Cynically, my Victor shouldn't be 0-5 ever. Like period. That is like a massive issue. You're really relying on this champion to have that split pushing potential, to be able to provide pressure on the map and give yourselves options on, well, if they go for us, our Victor's going to be getting a ton of gold and be able to push. That dude is going to lose to a super minion now. TJ Laner's also 3 levels behind an Ornn on Kale. Another like unacceptable situation if you're looking at their draft. They needed to be ahead. They have 1 tank, and it's our Sejuani, who right now not in a great spot against Wukong gold-wise. They're still going to try and scuffle around their red buff as the Cyclone's going to get burned for Taylor Swift using that movement speed to get away. Root's going to find the Aphelios here as now stunned. Good Glacial Prison. They're locked down. Solomon trying to get away with a Spear Rush. 1 more needed. That's all they've got. Solomon, 1 HP. Finally getting out of the burn to Zulfer. Getting far forward, but finally some temper on that aggression. Not going to push too far forward. They're going to get 1 kill here for the Mingos.
Yeah, and they made a call, and MMS kind of caught out just in no man's land there, right? Like, they're just sitting in the top jungle there. They weren't really shoving. They weren't, like, hovering and hiding. They were just there, and they just get caught out one after another, and a great job from Mingos to just make the call, and maybe this is their way in. You get your first kill on the Victor. You get a little bit more, gold after the fight for your Kale, who's now sitting at 2 items, and definitely the scaling is going to happen if they want any chance to win this. The problem is that on the other side, you still have Resilient, who is going to scale. You still have, Ornn, who's going to become almost unkillable even with this Kale. So the task is large, but at least a little bit of a bone given to them by MMS on that play.
It is a bone to them. It's to Zulfer, too, who desperately needs it. I'll make a comment on what I saw later. But for now, it's Paradoxical going to get locked down. Encore through 3. That's your tank, by the way, who has been popped instantly. Johnny Fortnite next to fall here in a second. The Donny Shadow going to cut down the rest of that shield here. Icarus with that Call the Forge. God whiff. And wide left there for the Ornn. But still, the tower going to fall here in a second.
Yeah, I think he just kind of waited on that a little bit too long, as now we're going to get Solomon porting into the bot side there. I don't think that when your Kale is on the top side split pushing, that's the time that you should try to make like a cheeky play on the Sejuani. I don't know. Maybe this is kind of what has been plaguing Mingos this entire time, where it's just the shot calls are just not there. Is Ron's going to pick up a free kill on the Taylor Swift there? Kind of weird for them to overextend there into that one. Yeah, I mean, you'll take anything that they'll give you, right? And this is at least an eye-opener for the side of Mingos to say, hey, we at least know that they're going to make some mistakes. And this is probably, I would say this is an eye-opener for what has been plaguing both of these teams, right? Like Mingos there with a bad macro call with the Kale on the top side. Yes, let them split push, let them get their experience, their gold and everything, and hopefully they stay safe enough. On the other side of that, MMS thinking that they can close the game out, running past a turret while getting hit into, giving Aphelios the carry for the side of Mingos just a little bit of hope. So both of these teams kind of showing maybe why their decision making, at least on that side, is not the best, and maybe what's been happening to get them to this 1-2 or 1-1 and 0-2 when they should potentially both be 2-0.
See what they can pull out. I want to make I've got a quick second here. I don't even know if I'll have the second to even bring it up, but keep an eye on Zulfer in their item inventory to see exactly what I'll happily bring up towards the end of this game as we approach that last pivotal fight here. MMS, all they need is one more to pick this up. It's the Soul. It's not Cloud. It is Cloud Soul, which that's the first time I've seen that work in a while. So very happy to see that. Ooh. Oh my lord, Glacial Prison going to go wide there. Paradoxical now in the wrong spot of history here. Encore's going to go straight through them. Stun, lockdown, Solomon happy to pick up that kill. Devour going to try and get Johnny Fortnite and Ron out of here. Shield falling off, flash away from that knockup, but Icarus has bought the space there. Banana Brush eaten and happy to take the space. Solomon though going to miss that charm as they're going forward to that Spirit Rush. Now gone out of this play. Arcane Storm burned here. There's not a whole lot left from the Mingos to start this fight, but they have to. It's the Soul. They're feeling this pressure, and that's the exact pressure that you crumble under. Taylor Swift finds that Cyclone. Zulfer gonna flash away as a double kill cuts through on the other side of the fight. It's just bodies.
Yeah, I think this is the right call here. Just end this. You have a teleport. You're going to be able to shove this in. You have half a wave, and you have Icarus, who should be able to tank both of these towers while you go through here. The death timer is long enough. I think this is probably going to be the end of the game, unless Paradoxical has something up their sleeve that they can do. But it's looking to me like, yeah, this is going to be game one going to MMS, and I'm going to assume that Bingo bongo indeed. That's kind of what just happened to Mingos on that. But yeah, just I don't know, a little maybe jitters coming from the side of Mingos here. It doesn't seem like they had a comp that they wanted to play, and they never got to really do it. And when they had the opportunities, they just kind of forced plays that didn't work around that comp. So I'd like to see maybe some cleaner decision making coming off onto game two. Obviously you're like, okay, we're 0-5 now, like hopefully their mental isn't completely broken, and if you're MMS, you closed out a game, right? And it's kind of like what Mingos gave you, but they did make plays, they did sort of force the issue, they did force fights at objectives, and they played a little bit cleaner around those team fights than Mingos did.
I think a big thing I'll call into question though is the itemization from
you don't like the
both
Protobelt?
the Sejuani and the Victor. I don't like Protobelt on mid laners like this. Yeah, you're an immobile mage, but Protobelt isn't going to fix that, especially when you're behind. Apologies for the damage. I don't know if those damage charts are incorrect, because I mean, I saw an Ornn throw down pretty hard, and I saw a Senna throw down pretty hard there. But the Kaisa definitely not in this game. Though, I don't think none of those are right. Okay, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
But regardless, a solid game from the squad of MMS there. Everyone positive. Most deaths on the squad was the Wukong on 3 deaths. Everyone kind of struggling to find their footing from the side of the Mingos. I don't like Protobelt at all, especially it was second to my understanding. So it's a second item Protobelt. The whole point of the item that we buy at first is, well, it's really old. It's gold efficient. It's not great, but it's gold efficient. We can get it. We can get going. It's just not there. Regardless, gotta see a lot from Mingo's first step through the door. Get a comp that you feel like you can actually team fight with. Fel, any last notes before we have to send everybody to a break?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. That one kind of just like from the get-go, just kind of it laid itself out pretty quickly. Like I said, if you're gonna have a split push, champion, or if you're gonna have your champion in split push positions like Zulfer or TJ Lanier, let them split push and try to create pressure on other sides of the map. If they get collapsed on, make it hurt. Which it just kind of felt like they just didn't have I don't know who the shot caller is. It just didn't seem like they were all on the same page there. So Mingos, get on the same page, and I like the comp and I like the ideas. It just was a little bit flat on the execution.
Let's see if they can fix up that execution, or will MMS keep that pressure up and live up to the expectations? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break.
Olympus.
I hope that showed up. How's everybody doing? Game 2 coming underway pretty quickly. I need to grab myself some refresher. Fell needed to go drain the old flesh weasel. How's it going?
Oh, it's good. I'm ready for game 2. I've been told by production that we're getting a spicy draft here, so I'm excited. I always love when they just go completely off the wall. So, let's get into it, man. I'm ready to go. Yeah, I mean, if you're MMS, you just want to close this out. If you're Ming, you want to try something crazy or just do something to just get some sort of positivity for your team moving forward. As we do, just to remind everybody, this is a fearless draft, so all 10 champions that were used in the first game are not going to be available for game 2 or 3. Unfortunately, this is only a 3-game series. Sorry, Halfling. And as we get into the bans, we're going to get the Nocturne. I'm going to assume we're going to get the Ezreal ban. And the Orianna band as well.
Are the sides right?
Out? Yeah,
perfect. Sides are correct.
Yes.
So
I get to figure this one out again.
Yeah, that one's good to see. MMS kind of just keeping the bans the same. Both teams relatively targeting stuff that you're kind of not necessarily asking, but you're kind of expecting to see. Get rid of the Ezreal one trick, get rid of the Nocturne, get rid of the Orianna, make sure that someone's uncomfortable for this game. And I mentioned something kind of in passing during the break, but both teams really opting into that like classical NA scaling draft, but not actually drafting scaling, not making a scaling draft. They just drafted a bunch of damage that scales into the game, but no way to have access to deal damage. So hopefully we can see these teams rectify, Mingos to rectify that mistake. MMS actually had a pretty solid comp with that Wukong Seraphine to make up for the lack of catch that some of those other champions had. Now Wei able to do that. Shen, same thing. So we're off to a good foot.
Yeah, no, and I do enjoy, Mingos, they're willing to give the Hui over to Solomon for something that they want. Apparently, they really wanted the Morgana Shen because they had banned the Hui in the first game, so they decided they don't want to deal with the Syndra this time, so they give them even more range and more lockdown and more everything that comes along with that champion. I hate it because I can't play it. So we're going to get the, as you said, the Shen Morgana, and then Caitlyn picked up for Resilient, and I'm going to assume we're going to see we're going to see the top laner here, Aatrox, coming out for Icarus. If he could play this almost as well as he played that Ornn, I'm kind of excited to see what happens in this top lane here.
Now we weren't spoiled with the picks, we were spoiled to it being a spicy draft, and like the possibility is, it's the Aatrox flexing to jungle. I don't like that. Shen. Or Shen jungle can work, and it works pretty well. The Aatrox, you have a pretty slow first clear and a pretty slow second clear, and your level 6 ganks are like you're like a bad version of Rammus. So you kind of don't offer anything until the 1-2 item team fights, in which case why are you not playing him top lane? Why aren't you just playing something else in the jungle? Flex picks, of course, that's the name of the game here, but for now it'll be sitting and guessing Braum, J4, Milio, Nami, Gon, making sure we're keeping these supports still just as uncomfortable, and no one, quite confident in that Morgana not going to the jungler as well.
Yeah, I don't know who they're thinking it is, because they did ban out the Jarvan. Mingos is going to pick up the Aurelia. Are we going to see an R5 jungle, or it's probably already here? If I had to guess, is now the Rel's going to get picked up for Mighty Morphin Syndicate, and I don't know what D-Shot's going to be doing here as they go. Ooh, the Nefiri coming out. Okay, so this champion was actually
disabled
for a little bit because their W was
bugged. It was an ultimate.
Yeah, it was basically getting all of the benefits that ultimate items were giving to your ultimate. It was kind of proccing all of those. So I'm excited to see Nefiri back in. I know it's an S tier jungler, S tier like everything right now, and I've been trying to play it myself. I'm not very good with her, but I am excited to kind of see this here, and especially on Taylor Swift, who did such a good job with the Wukong last game. The one thing that I would say is I kind of feel like MMS's comp has a lot less, I guess, lockdown. Like they had so much in the last one with the Wukong, with the Ornn, with the initiation and lockdown was kind of the name of the game, with a follow up of Senna, for the scaling, and now this time they don't have as much, and a lot of their initiation is damage based, kind of like Mingos was last game. Whereas Mingos now, we do see it is more than likely the Shen jungle, Morgana mid. So this will be interesting coming in. I do like the Shen jungle a lot. I think into a Nefiri, Aatrox, like, we want to jump on top of you. It kind of works in the same route as Galio does, or the same realm as Galio, where now you have the Stand United, you have turnaround, you have potential to react a lot quicker and better and turn fights on their head.
It's possible to turn fights with that Shen, and in the jungle you're going to be able to have a lot of access to easy gank angles. That's for sure. But I was making a face at this Nefiri. Nefiri in this game, looks pretty good. You've got a lot of squishies you're going to have access to pretty frequently. You're going to be able to burst an Aurelia with not ease, but possibility. It can happen this game. Who's going in with you? Who's going in first? Your Rel is your primary engage. Okay, that's some of the shortest AoE primary engage we have in League of Legends. Followed up with, you mentioned the Galio, just holding taunt and walking at you. They're about the same, speed of engage. It's not the greatest snap engage. It's going to be very hard for this MMS lineup to continue a fight if their Nefiri goes in first, because Nefiri can go so far with that ultimate. No one's really going to be able to follow that up instantly. It's going to take quite a long time. You have a Bard and Ashe that you're trying to deal with as well, who's going to be able to stall you. You have a Shen who can block the auto attacks from the Caitlyn, and any little bit that's coming from the Aatrox that isn't the Q, that damage matters. And Aurelia just kind of causes havoc. So in these proper 5v5 fights, I don't like what MMS is cooking, because the onus is on them to engage.
Yeah,
Ming does not need to do that. They can. Ming can engage. Mingos can engage, but they don't need to. Just get to a space first. Use your push that you have with a Morgana mid and Aurelia as well, and you're going to be in a very comfortable spot. But if either of these teams get too antsy and kind of play outside of their box that they need to play in to win this game, it's kind of just going to throw away any purpose that they have to pick these champions.
Yeah, and I do kind of, now that they've changed Nefiri, I know it used to be like an automatic reset and you would just keep getting them. I think it's limited to one reset now for the ultimate. So yeah, I kind of agree that it doesn't make that much sense. Maybe with the old standard, it would have been a little bit better, because you would have been able to basically have your Nefiri just get all of the resets as it went down. But and Lanier is going to take a little bit of poke here from Icarus. But yeah, so it doesn't add CC. All it does is damage. And it's I don't know if it's my favorite pick as well. I think I'm with you on that one, where it just doesn't make sense in the comp that they have. Maybe Nefiri mid would have been a little bit better, and then change that out. But I don't know. I'm with you on that one.
You need just an Unga Bunga top laner, I think, to make it work. You need a Malphite. You need the Ornn. You need a Mundo. You need something that's just going to be there right next to the Nefiri alongside the Rel. Aatrox can be, but drain tanks like it, your Aatroxes, your Dariuses as well, that have sustain, that use sustain to make themselves tanky in fights, they aren't really the tanks that you want as the Nefiri. It's pretty easy to burst you and not really feel that punished for not targeting the Aatrox as well. So hopefully they can manage it. MMS definitely want to kind of get on the right foot, get a dominant 2-0 through. They've got some more signature picks here, especially with Resilient and D-Shot here on this Rel Caitlyn. They've got a gank developing the bot side. The Fury's on the backside, but here on the top, Laner has to flash away from their own tower. Icarus can miss the W down, taking the tower. Laner gets the 1v1 win, and bot side somehow, some way, no one dies.
I don't know. I love the angle from Taylor Swift there. I think they got perfect timing. I do believe that Ming's bot lane was caught out, but TJ on this Aurelia, like level 1 still. Like Aatrox hit level 3, got the ignite, got her low, and she like survives just long enough. Perfect flash timing to get out of there, and then just popping the ignite for extra BM, I guess, at the end of that, because that was definitely not needed. Now with a level advantage, a kill advantage, and a CS advantage on this Aurelia, like this lane was all Icarus, and potentially now this could go really badly for the side of MMS if TJ takes this and actually like uses their lead properly, as the dogs are going to take the scuttle away from Paradoxal, though.
I know like Aurelia has a decent time into the Aatrox after that first reset. Hold up, I'm getting tabled because Ron's just out no man's lane. They've got the bar going through the magical journey, looking like they're safe here as TJ stuck. They had to stop it. Now they're going to die here unless Laner can find something, but they could not get active. It's a kill going back to Icarus.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like maybe they should have had Paradoxical after the scuttle just say, hey, can you come here? He does have a barrier up, Ron does, on his Ashe, but he is flirting right now up against Resilience Caitlyn here. He's just begging to get hit up. But yeah, I kind of feel like maybe they should have used them to push that wave out. I understand staying around because you don't want Icarus to get a free freeze forever after you just made like the play of the series basically on that failed tower dive, but yeah, ended up paying the price for it because of that too. So unfortunate.
I was thinking about the draft. I forgot to get a screenshot of it, but I'm pretty sure the Ashe just got blinded. You're blinding it into a range, like a full-on high-range AD carry player like Resilient. You're kind of just asking to have to play against the Caitlyn, against a player that knows how to pilot the Caitlyn as well. I'm not a fan of that at all. You need to be like the benefit is, oh, Caitlyn has to take cleanse.
No,
this
they picked
is a
it
great
into the
game
Caitlyn.
for this. Oh, they picked it into the Caitlyn.
Right. Yeah. So it
What?
was Shen Morgana were the first 2 picks for our side.
What? Okay.
And then,
What?
yeah, the Bard
Okay.
was R4, I think. And
Okay.
the-
So we're
that
cooking.
was
We're
our-
cooking with nothing then.
Yeah.
The beef is just raw on the pan, man. You got to turn on the lighter first. But regardless, I guess the benefit. Oh, Resilient has to take cleanse. This is a phenomenal game for cleanse. They're gonna take it with or without that Ashe. Bind, taunt, stun from both the Bard and the Aurelia. Like this is a great game to have cleanse as the AD carry. You're gonna get gunned down every time, so you're gonna be able to stay mobile. Dragon getting started up, they're burning that priority bot side, able to pick up this objective, keep Taylor Swift active on this map, and keep Paradoxical on their toes, trying to find some sort of jungle, but it's coming up dry in the top side.
It is, but I do kind of like this. I think that they knew they weren't going to be able to get this this objective, so you do the right thing, right? Like you sacrifice a dragon, which sounds dumb, but with the way that the new jungle has come out with this season, we do know that getting that farm on the jungle is absolutely paramount and has to happen. And you could actually fall really far behind by getting successful ganks up against another jungler who's just farming your jungle and their jungle on repeat. So a good look, but might end up getting caught out here by the Neferi as the pings are coming through. They do see him on the minimap as a fight is breaking out on the bot side here.
A scuffle, more so than anything else. Yeah. Looking like that Gromp did end up getting smited away by Taylor Swift, I believe. I think so. Paradoxical had walked in with 40, walked out with 40 on that, so I'm assuming it went over to Taylor Swift, which is good, happy for MMS to pick up that Gromp there. You don't lose a whole lot. You get the Dragon, you get a lot of pressure. Rebot back here on the bot side thanks to Resilient and D-Shot's positioning on this lane, just trying to find some angle. They want to see if they can get it done, get a kill while Ron is not having the benefit of arrow at all, and still didn't have, I believe didn't have flash up until literally right now, unless that's just a bug for me. So
No, he had the
regardless, yeah, okay,
earlier.
so
Yeah.
couldn't quite get
From
that
the
angle then.
Nefiri gank. Yeah, from the Nefiri gank at level 2, I think it was. Where we were like, how'd they get out? Flash.
Yeah, flash into the magical journey was what they were able to use, but still kind of business as usual, waiting for those grubs to spawn up and get taken as of this moment. But for now, just farming, waiting. Lane's going about even. It's NA League of Legends, boys.
Yeah, no, and this is kind of like, it's probably not what we want for ourselves, but you did pick a Morgana to just sort of, like stop the mid from doing what Hui wants to do. You have a Shen that wants to just sort of clear and can get ganks off, but it definitely wasn't working out in the beginning. And now I do kind of like that they actually have prio. Mingos has prio here over for the grubs, and they pull the trigger really quickly. And you already have TJ and Paradoxal here, and now Zulfer on the other side here, but they are going to potentially get collapsed on as the Flash is going to have to come out from the Aurelia now. So she's already having a hard enough time against this Aatrox. Now going to have to do that without Flash.
Yeah, no flash, and that's trying to give Icarus the fight, though. Stand United popped. Here comes the Vanguard's Edge as well. Icarus, flash taunt, locked down, can't get away from the double of Paradoxical and TJ Laner. Paradoxical going to get the kill. TJ Laner, no punish.
Oh, no, that was a hell of a play once again by TJ. Playing through top here for Mingos might be the idea here. They aren't going to get stuck with the lane, sort of in a freeze position here either. If you can get Aurelia going, with the ability to Black Shield and stand united on them, like this could be really bad for the side of MMS if they get ahead, as Zulfer now going to, try to steal it, does not end up getting the blue buff, but a little cheeky invade from Zulfer here on the Morgana, as I think they do kind of need to back here. But yeah, this could be an exciting thing for the Aurelia if she can keep getting ahead here, and you can use Paradoxal's ult to just kind of do that. Late game, Aurelia, as you said earlier, causes a ton of chaos in the mid and the back line of fights, and like now with everything else that they have on their team to sort of, help facilitate the Aurelia, this could be really bad for the side of MMS.
It's also the longest I've seen an Aurelia not have Vamp Scepter, but be building an item that so obviously has a Vamp Scepter in it. Like, I remember, Tiamat Rush into Trinity Force Aurelia. I've been around too long. And, like, yeah, you wouldn't get Vamp Scepter then. It'd kind of blow, but even then, not sure what Ron wanted to do standing up to there. Ultimate coming up from Taylor Swift under the tower, though. Dagger 1 forces the W, trying to get away from Ron. Nice. Pop that ultimate. Enchanted Crystal Arrow, not enough to find the kill there. True Shot, not True Shot Barrage. It's the ace in the hole. Looking to find the kill, but can't quite do it. Resilient now. Definitely in the wrong side. Walk straight into that. Cleanse going to get burned. They're flashing away from Paradoxal. Zulfer, though, flashing to follow along. They're going to get the kill with the chains. Looking to continue with Solomon, showing back up the area, but there's no one here to save you. Not sure what Johnny Fortnite's doing walking into that guy and somehow stays alive at the end of that.
That was insane that he did, but yeah, very good job by the team of Mingos, like all together there to just sort of play that play out the way they wanted to. Ron kind of getting caught out there, but I love his patience with the Enchanted Crystal Hour, right? Like one thing that Nefiri does have on their side is their W, where they become completely intargetable, and it is so easy to fall prey to thinking that, okay, they're ulting in now, and I can just Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and I'm going to get him, but more than likely was going to whiff if he did it. So he waited until the W was down, was able to get that, a turret shot or two on top of everything else. Nice patient fight from the side of Ming to be able to just kind of have that go their way slowly, and then boom, now we also have a dragon. So things are going a lot better for them this game as opposed to last game, obviously, as they are now up 3-1. There is a mini gold lead. I think it's a little bit less than 1,000 that they have right now, and Paradoxical looking to push this now as Resilient is getting a lot onto Ron here as a double gank coming up on the top lane
has that victim POV, but staying alive. They don't even have the Vamp Scepter out, and they're keeping the sustain going. Icarus gonna pick up the kill, though. Looking to turn this on to Johnny Fortnite, flashing at the tower. No stun quite yet, as it got eaten by the dogs, but still alive there, as the World Ender is going to end. Here's Zulfer in the mid lane, gonna find out Solomon Chain's gonna land, looking to lock them down for all of eternity. Solomon into the prison.
Yeah, Zulfer on this Morgana is playing a lot better than they were last game on the Victor. I like them on this champion a lot more. And also another huge cooldown that was spent on that top side fight was Paradoxical's Stand United. So we are going to be Shen ultless for the next couple of minutes here, as just couldn't live long enough. With the Bard, I think that they had the right idea to try to make that like a quick 3v2 after checking on the bot side, but just didn't work out. Aurelia just not tanky enough, even though they have, the play to steel caps. But I think, like you said, they don't have a Vamp Scepter. Why not just get it real quick over the pickaxe, and they probably would have lived there.
I can play devil's advocate to myself here, and yeah, you see Bramble Vest. Like, oh, why would I buy Vamp Scepter if it's already going to... If Bramble Vest is going to eat up everything in combat, but the whole point is you enter every fight full HP.
Yes.
That's the idea. That's the good part about it. Now, Solomon definitely shouldn't be here. Definitely doesn't have flash. Your eyes are not deceiving you, and they're just going to get popped there, spouting in despair, finding absolutely nothing. Poor Doxcal, getting that one almost delivered to them. Icarus, sir, your mid laner has died on your blue side. Why did you push that lane? They're going to go through with the Magical Journey. Now locked down. Shen finding the taunt there. More stun. Ooh. Tower shut off. Icarus pops the World Ender, trying to sustain as long as it can. Tower's back on there. One more Q3, staying alive as long as possible. Stun connects. Ooh. Laner picking up the kill onto the tower. They make the dive work.
Yeah, there was clean from Johnny Fortnite there too. Like able to... Oh, never mind. Zephyr about to get caught out.
Zulfer, same mistake, different person. Soul Shackle, trying to keep themselves alive as long as possible. Resilience gonna get that one, as it's Haley's Comet passing on by.
Yeah, and I do like the perpendicular shot. You weren't with me in the last 2 seasons when I was casting on this, but so many times I feel like it's a Titan curse that whenever somebody picks Ashe, they're going the opposite way with them. Instead of down the lane, they go across lanes and miss everything. So I do like the idea behind Ron's Ashe arrow there, but just missed a little bit wide left. But yeah, like you said, Icarus making the mistake of saying, hey, we just got caught out in our blue side, let me push this wave. And then Zulfer doing the exact same thing. I think maybe they got rested a little bit too much on their laurels there, thinking that they're safer than they are. They are on Morgana, they have Black Shield, they have, everything. But what they didn't have was Flash and enough tankiness to get away from 3 members on the side of MMS. And now you've given Caitlyn a kill here, who's already almost 50 CS ahead of your ADC counterpart. This could be scary, and the win con for MMS is pretty clear now, right? Like Resilient on the Caitlyn, followed up with everybody else in front of them, just allowing them to free fire. So all the chaos that Nefiri or Taylor Swift on this Nefiri is going to have is getting caught out here on the other blue side.
Swift definitely doesn't want to be there for very much longer, but not really a choice. They were delivered away. Good Tempered Fate locking down Icarus here for as long as possible. Solomon, though, picking up Zulfer as they're continuing this fight here. MMS want Paradoxical. They smell the blood of their teammate, and they're going to get it claimed back. Icarus picking up that kill. Ron turning tail.
Yeah, and it kind of looked like Ron wanted to eat that ace in the hole for his Shen. I'm really glad they didn't, because I think that they probably would have died there. It looked like they turned around for like half a second and then said, oh, never mind, I'm the ADC. I can't die here. Also, as you see on the screen here, TJ Lanier with his shout out of the game. Happy birthday to Ron, 21 years old. The kid is coming up in the league. I could say kid because I have children that are as old as Ron. I'm sad.
Well, moving on to topic.
We're going.
It's going to be MMS picking up this dragon. Second one for them, third in the game. Looking like a little bit of action happened around this blue buff. They want to get what they can. They're going to see it. They're on the CCTV. There we go. It's not CCCTV. That's the wrong country. But
CCTV.
Yes. Oh no. But so far, just Herald going the way. Zulfer caught out Soul Shackle's Pac, trying to sustain as best they can with this. They're going to find that stun straight through the root into their dogs. Can't do a lot of damage when you're stuck in the puddle. Taylor Swift can't get away.
So the last time that this happened, which was literally like a minute and a half ago, maybe less, he timed his W on the Nefiri perfectly to where they didn't end up eating the stun. So a little bit of a misplay from Taylor Swift on the Nefiri to be just, I think it was just a smidge too early hitting that W as to where they ended up taking that, as Zulfer now is going to have to go completely, probably two to three screens away from the Hui not to be able to get hit by his barrage.
Try 2 towers.
Yeah, seriously,
away.
it's ridiculous.
And finally far enough away. You need to break the actual chain. You need to get out of the distance with the Nefiri W, which gives you bonus movement speed. So you have that ability to kind of walk away. But with this rank 2 in the ultimate from the Morgana gets even more. I think like rank 1 is like 10 to 15% on the Morgana ultimate. Rank 2, it jumps up to like 30. So it becomes like an actual amount that you really can't run away from. So it's just a hard thing to manage. They've got Zulfer here up on the top side, split pushing. It's 3.5 minutes before Dragon, though, but we're setting up for a bot dive. Speaking of a bot dive, they're diving laner here into the center of the lane. Neutral, not quite safe for laner. Taking a lot of damage, trying to get under Resilient there. Can't close the distance. Resilient's going to get that one. Ace in the hole, putting a little damage into poor Doxel as the Stadium Knight did finish up, but Zulfer going to pick up Resilient on the backside. They TP'd here. Soul Shackle pop. Taylor Swift, Deja Vu lived and dead once more. It's a double kill. Another TP coming on through. It's Icarus flying on by, but there's no one to save.
No, as another binding. Dude, the Zulfer on this Morgana has turned this game completely, put the entire team on their shoulders and has completely just turned this game around now, as every play that they're involved in is just going the way of Mingos. Is now they're going to get a tier 2 in the mid lane and probably transition that to a tier 2 in the top lane, which there's a lot of standing gold that is going to go their way now here, as we'll see if they try to take this away, as D-Shot does not want to let that happen going in on the rel here, but not going to get too much out of it. Oh, never mind.
That distance, another good bind flash from Ron to get through the magical journey, but still going to fall. Solomon happy to pick that one up, taking down the birthday boy.
I was kind of hoping he got away with that, because that was really heads up to flash forward into an Aatrox to take that journey away. So, but it happens. But it's now TJ up on the top side. Potential 2v1 gonna come out here. Let's see how they do.
It's TJ just dominating on this Aurelia. There's two people here. Icarus has a lot of damage there. TJ Laner has a timer and can't quite lock down Icarus. Too much decisions. Couldn't make a single one there. I think maybe misstacked that Blade Surge there.
Yeah, a little bit. I think maybe they thought they had the killing blow and didn't, but or just a little bit of healing coming out from Icarus that kind of like stifled that. But I think the ace in the hole was going to get them anyways. But it would have been nice to get a 1-4 instead of just dying up there, as they were just a bit overextended with no vision in the red side jungle or blue side jungle of MMS. So a little bit of fortunate play for the side of MMS, where they're able to get just kind of a free kill, and now moving along from that into trying to transition into getting maybe a good Baron call here and getting into the next play as Rel picks up the red buff from Resilient. D-Shot gonna need that. I actually like that. Good for him.
We did see in that last play though, quite a while ago, the rel distance on that engage is just not at all enough compared to the range that they're dealing with in this game, right? It's so much needed in order to really push deeper and really make fights work. So this rel is kind of having a little bit of an issue so far. Once we get a little more clumped up into these more like proper fights, as this is a trap late for Icarus, but now it's turned on its head. Fortnite is finding it out alongside TJ. Comet able to find Resilient there, has to pop that cleanse. Temper Fate keeping up. Taylor Swift's going to pick up Ron there, but here in the fight, as we pop on in, TJ is going to pick up Resilient there. Finally falls. Poor Doxical and Johnny Fortnite have to get out of here. D-Shot though making sure that's not the case. Solomon get a little too close for poor Doxical's taste. One more auto needed, able to finish it up, but the damage not quite there, as D-Shot's gonna get that kill, and Taylor Swift has cut off the escape route for Johnny Fortnite. One last magical journey, but I don't think this book even has an end, and it isn't quite now.
No, yeah, I mean, good job by Fortnite there. And off screen, we didn't get to catch it, but Zulfer did end up getting caught out by Taylor Swift there on the Neferi. So there was a solo kill made there. So there's no chance for Mingos to turn that fight around the other way. I guess the Ashe must have died too. Was that a double kill for Neferi? Because I don't remember seeing Ron die on screen. Because that was just the three of them, right? Yeah, that was just TJ, Paradoxical, and Johnny Fortnite on the bot side trying to set up a trap, but ended up getting trapped themselves. And I'm guessing that Taylor Swift must have double killed Ron and Zulfer on their own in the mid lane.
It was an unofficial one. Ron popped out that ultimate and then was reminded of, I haven't seen Neferi in a while. I wonder where she is. Ooh. Good flash burn there. Resilient, though, still locked down with the Temper Fate. 90 cal in net, couldn't get away. Stun, not quite going to land, but it's more than enough with the taunt onto Resilient. Ron picking up that kill.
And that's really good for them. Ron has been kind of silent this entire game, way below on CS. The Enchanted Crystal Arrows have either been hit or miss, but they haven't really amounted to any actual kills or objectives on the backside of them. So it's really good to see him get a kill now, as he is going to, he does have the 2 items completed here, but has felt really far behind this Resilient on this Caitlyn, as TJ Lanier going in for a nice tower dive, but both ults popped now.
Ults pop, Ender and the Vanguard's Edge already out. Icarus sustaining for so long as Laner wants to find this. They're able to get that stun, has the mark that they need to keep going, but not quite enough to really push on forward. Baron was started, but no real pressure. No one really moved too big. I think even Taylor Swift didn't even rotate.
No, they didn't, and so now, but they didn't end up. Actually taking the Baron either. So this is just kind of like a weird spot here for Mingos. Like, they had the play, they killed Resilient, and then they don't really get anything on the backside of it. So potentially a bad call here from them. But
okay, man. sevens to our Neferi players in chat who believe that is a good play with all of their heart. Anyway, Solomon getting flashed on by Johnny Fortnite as the volleys keep them slowed down. You can't go anywhere, man, when there's that much CC. Poor Dox will going to pick up that kill here. 2 have fallen. Eyes are set on the Baron for Mingos.
Okay, now they're going to go for Baron. Now they're going to pull the trigger. They're going to get it, and they're going to reset, and then they're going to have 2 lanes to basically go down for free, and TJ and Icarus are going to fight over this bot tier 1 turret. I feel like if MMS loses this game, that tier 1 bot lane is still going to be set up there, because all the plays that they are making around the map without Icarus there, he's still holding fast on this tier 1 bot lane. So
props to Icarus for keeping it up, as they can't quite I guess like the best way I can say is they can't quite figure out how they want to win this game. MMS are looking at all of their options on how to win, and they're getting paralysis. They don't know, okay, do we play through Icarus, who's doing pretty solid in a matchup where they're 1,300 behind, right? Like, yeah, props to them. And they have 1,800 in their inventory, and they're pushing in the Aurelia, who's gotten a ton of help on this map. So, okay, maybe do we play around them? Do we play around our 1,100 gold Caitlyn and maybe have a babysitter for them, so that way they aren't just going to die to a Morgana walking up and pressing R? Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should play around our Neferi, who looks like they're able to blow up anybody that they just pick. And they just pick none of the above at the right time.
That's what it is, right? It's not at the right time. They are sort of going around the map and playing to each of these strengths. Like, we have seen them catch out TJ with Icarus and a couple other people, but like you said, it's not at the right times. They're just not consistent with how they want to do it. They'll do it once or twice, and then they seem like they're just abandoning the idea. So both of these teams have, I think, within these last 2 games have kind of shown that they don't really maybe want to play to their strength, or really know how to close the games out with with the comps that they're using. So interestingly enough, we are going to see if they can change that narrative, and maybe after being on the stream and having somebody else to talk about it, maybe that's something that both of these teams can go back to the drawing board, in between this series and the next one, and sort of make that like their goal to fix for the next upcoming week.
hopefully. But for now, Mingos still have to finish out this game. Still have to close it out. Yeah, they got the Baron right, but the
Didn't do anything with it.
They
got
haven't really
Icarus's
done
tower.
anything with it. They're gonna get this dragon
That's it.
off of it, most likely. Even they've got the control over the space, but they haven't started it yet. Their burst is pretty low. You can see the pings coming onto the mid lane. They want to try and find a fight. They want to see if they can't force a bad decision. Zulfer is going to find Icarus and a Comet one more time. Going to pass on through. Ron now too far forward. It's delivered. The taunt Taylor Swift straight to the backline, but hasn't died this time. D-Shot flash into the backline. Magnetic Storm keeping them locked down here as it's bound to spare. Forces Paradoxical to flash over the wall. They're out of the fight. Tempered Fate with Laner on the backside in the dive. Now left alone here, and they can't save that.
no.
Stand United is standing with nobody here as the ace in the hole forces the block. Zulfer here shows up in the backline one more time to fight their chains pop. D-Shot trying to find the crash down, can't quite do it as we flash away. We know what happened. We didn't even see it. It's MMS on top.
Yeah, and I guess that's the way that you counter that Morgana play, right? And you were talking about earlier, once you get like the level 2 ult, it's hard to counter and just kill her. So no Seekers, no Zhonya's being built right now. No Arm Guard is in the inventory, and I kind of feel like at this point maybe should have that, because that would 1000% would have turned that into probably a double kill for Zulfer there up against the Caitlyn and the Rel. So good play by Mingos, and they got the play that they wanted. They got the fight that they wanted, but they just couldn't finish off and execute, and just a little mismatched as far as who they had and where. And as Ron gets jumped on, and that is an instantly deleted.
Yeah.
Ash followed by an potentially
Bart
instantly
is
deleted.
next year. Don't worry. You can Temper Fate. You can stall for time. You can bring your top laner here, but I mean, we all know how this is going to end. Finally, the Flash Johnny Fortnite going to save themselves. Bind finally goes wide from Zulfer. I think a big thing, too, from that last fight is Mingos never met back up to actually fight as 4 or 5. They, like, set this great trap for the Nefiri, but then they realized, we don't have burst damage. Our Aurelia's flanking, and this is just my Bard, Ashe, and Shen. What damage are we ever going to deal? Even in our greatest dreams, like it's never going to happen. So just kind of a bad positioning here. And speaking of that, it's Paradoxical also in a bad position. One more stun to try and get away with the crash down, locked up for too damn long. Gonna fall in.
Another round.
Hey, it's been about 80 years, so Haley's Comet coming back along our screens. It's okay.
Yeah, this just seems like they had this game, and like you were saying, like they're making the right decisions, but their follow through. If they would have waited 2 seconds to start that fight and have TJ in position to actually catch people out, and they played around it, but they were just way too low by the time that fight started. So yeah, it's very unfortunate if you're a side Ming, because like up until about 5 minutes ago, I would have said that this was probably their game to lose. But MMS just letting them Ming themselves out, I guess, for lack of a better term. Like they just making bad decisions after bad decision, and now you can kind of feel the momentum swinging back in the favor of MMS on this game. And I mean, for another team that has had issues closing out, as TJ and Icarus about to fight, as a flash coming out from Lanier did get caught out, so that is an ult for a flash. Icarus 1, TJ 0 for the moment.
Indeed, a good play from Icarus keeps them up, keeps his bot side safe, so they can be able to maybe get some more options. You know, Aurelia is going to be harder to have a harder time. My bad. Aurelia's going to have a harder time really dancing around in the back line like she's supposed to. Doesn't quite have the build exactly that you'd want to see from your like backline assassin bruiser. This is like a full-fledged split push build, but they're expecting to split push against Wei with that Wit's End, I guess. Maybe finally an arrow's going to land there. Cleanse got burned. Taylor Swift showing up in the area, and so is the D-Shot on the Rel, but no trigger pulled.
Yeah, no, but I do like that play, right? You send out your Enchanted Crystal Arrow. It's at this point you're level 15, so it's like a 40-second cooldown, and you get the cleanse out from Resilient on this Caitlyn. So, but now they have to make a play, right? Like so you did that, you got the cleanse, you're ready to go. Now they have to make a play, and they have to do it while Hui is distracted on the bot side. Maybe once they see a second player here, they just kind of go for it. But yeah, I really want to see Mingos just capitalize on, that ult to timing as TJ cues onto the.
Dude.
I don't think that he ended up getting the last hit, so it did not
He
reset
missed.
for him.
Yeah, they missed cannon and tried to ult to tower dive.
Yeah,
Brother.
unfortunate.
Zolfer's gonna walk too far forward, man. Hey, by the way, Caitlyn's level 15 and got 3 items there. Tempered Fate pop. Johnny Fortnite, though, I think genuinely just killed themselves for that magical journey, bringing over Icarus. Stun, gonna miss. Now has access to Ron in the backside of the fight there as the volley's coming on out here, slowing them down. Icarus half HP, but Zulfer in the backside eating up Taylor Swift's ultimate. Now Icarus still alive, finally down, but the spiraling despair cutting down one. Resilient on a killing spree to pick up that kill, and Taylor Swift is reset, so Ron is dead. Next target here, it's a double kill for Taylor Swift, looking for more. It's a triple kill. It's gonna be a quadra kill through this ultimate. Taylor Swift popping out albums, making sure nobody else is there, and then Nefiri cutting down Mingos.
Yeah, this is just we talked about it in the draft. Like, how are they going to pull this off? How are they going to get this Nefiri to work? And that's how you get everybody low, and then you just have them, get to a point where they can just kind of one-shot Ron, and then just follow it all up. Now, Icarus ended up dying there, but the fact that they ate so much of the resources from Mingos on that fight before it started, that just kind of shows you what a good bruiser semi-tank can do for you, because they took so much for them to get Icarus down, and then you had all of the peel for Ron just in the wrong spots. They just couldn't do anything for him. There wasn't enough burst damage to take anybody down, and Mingos not able to kind of get the play to come to them and slowly whittle them down and then take the fight. The fights were just a little bit too fast for their comp to handle, and as we saw in the end, just a quick 2-0 for MMS. I don't think that if I was them, that's probably not the happiest that they would be. Obviously, you're happy to go home 2-1 and, in a positive win, positive in the win column. But at the same time, I don't think this is the cleanest that they could have played. We've seen better, or at least I've seen better from last season from most of these guys. So, and for the side of Mingos, it's very unfortunate that you guys are, going 0-3 right now. It seems like the communication just isn't there. They haven't even won a game yet, if I'm correct. This is, the resilience, part of esports here, is going to be tested on these guys. Can they pull it together? Can they, scrape together a couple of wins? If it's not playoff run, it's, can we at least put something on tape to where, next season we still get picked up by teams? Can, individual goals, as we say, in these situations, like, what's your individual goal, and then come together as a team and just try to get it. They're not out by any stretch of the means, but at the same time, they have a lot of communication and macro decision making that we saw today, that even when they get a lead, they just kind of squander it, and when they're playing from behind, they don't seem like they know how to get back into the game.
Yeah, this is a great series to kind of review all the angles that you could find to try and end games. There are multiple spots where these teams could really kind of sit back. You need a second set of eyes, from better trained eyes than mine, at least, to really sit back, take a breather. How do we end this game? And I think that's a big kind of dividing line between the teams here in Olympus, is the teams that understand how to end, but kind of just lack the execution to consistently make it happen, and the teams that just don't know how to end at all. It is really that big dividing line that we have here. And MMS have players that we've seen in the past be able to end games and have this understanding, and you can see them kind of group up, but the communication doesn't seem to be there. You saw Taylor Swift have a couple ultimates just straight into the back line and no vision at all, just complete blind ulting. This Ashe is being dangled in front of me like I'm ice fishing, dude. I can see, you can see from the top. We can see from the top, but I swear fish can also see through the ice. So you've got to be able to see that at some point. And hopefully we can see them really clean up their play and become the Syndicate that everybody expects. Because it'd be really disappointing to see the squad not make it. Icarus looked really good. Taylor Swift has potential. Solomon has potential. Resilient D-Shot. We've seen these players prove themselves. So hopefully they can clean it up. Mingos, another week, another 2-0, unfortunately, for them. But hey, it was a quick Friday, all things considered. Go enjoy the rest of your day. I've been Halfling, joined by Fel, produced and observed by Romeo. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week.